Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to install WordPress using your Bluehost account. And so I'm going to go ahead and log into here to bluehost.com and then go ahead and log in to the login screen. And this is going to install WordPress and all of its files. Now this is different from WordPress.com because you're actually going to take, let me actually type this in, johnsmickley.com. You're going to take all of the WordPress files from their framework, and they're going to basically give it to you to install. And not just install, everything that makes it work, but also install a database for you. And what that means is that you could make people log in, and it uses higher end coding like PHP. To allow you to do even more things than you ever could with just a static HTML site. So the first thing you're going to do is log into Bluehost. Make sure you're clicked on the home page and then click on the cPanel. And so if you're not there, make sure that it says cPanel right here. Then you're going to scroll down about halfway, about halfway through the page, and you're going to see the WordPress icon pop up. So go down here, and here we are at Website Builders, Install WordPress. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now it's time to decide where this is going to go. It's going to open this Mojo Marketplace, which is completely fine. Let's go ahead and press Install. Very simple to do it through WordPress. It's a two-click install, very simple. And I'm going to do this drop down and go to my actual domain, so johnsmickley.com, and now I'm going to choose a directory. And since this is for the final project, I recommend just using the folder final. And what this is going to do is it's going to install all of WordPress's files into a subdirectory of your domain. And you might notice this if you've made other sites, sub-sites, like we've done in the past in this class. And basically all the files are now going to be in this folder called /final. Now since I've already got one in there, I'm going to go ahead and just call this final project. Or actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call it if my final project was on Open Carry at Texas State. I'm going to go ahead and choose that. So if you already know what your final project is going to be on, then I recommend choosing that folder name. But basically you're creating a whole directory, so maybe you don't know what it is yet, you can just call this final. It's totally up to you. Let's go ahead and check the domain, and right now it's just making sure that there are no other folders that are also named Open Carry, and obviously that's why I'm choosing this word instead of the word final, because I do already have a final folder. Now I'm going to go ahead and check the Show Advanced Options. I'm going to go ahead and change this to Open Carry at TXST. Then my admin username, this can be literally whatever you want it to be. I'm just going to do something simple like my first and last name, and then a password could be anything that you want it to be, and I'm just going to choose password, even though that is terrible, and I would never ever recommend that anybody do that, but you're going to choose your own password, and then you're going to choose your own admin username. Then you're going to go ahead and click I have read these instructions, and we're going to click Install Now. And so what now it's doing is it's going through and then taking all of WordPress files and sending them to your server. And not only that, but it's also creating a database. And so while that's going, Mojo Marketplace is going to try to sell you or show you some themes that you might want to buy. And that's okay. We're not really going to do that at the moment. But you can see up here it says your install is underway, and I can view the details and watch it as it goes. And again, it's basically installing all kinds of different folders and files and directories into your website for you. Now you could do this manually also, but there's just a few more steps involved. And so the great thing about Bluehost is that just after a click or two, it's basically installed. So it's just going to do some final things here, and it will tell you your install is complete, and that's great. Now let's go ahead and view those credentials, because that's what you're going to need to log into your website, this new install. And down here, let's go ahead and view those. You might want to write this down or just at least remember it on how to log into your site. You see, what it's going to give you is it's going to give you the URL for what we just did, which obviously is your website.com/folder name. Then you've got the admin URL, and what that means is that's how you log into your website. And I can show you another way to do that in case you forget this. And then obviously it's got my username and the password that I chose, which was too easy and silly. But I'm going to go ahead and go to my website, johnsmickley.com/opencarry, because that's what I told it to do. And you'll see that it's basically installed this whole world for us. Now, to log in, all you have to really do is click admin login from here. And what it's going to do is it's going to take you to wplogin.php, which is very similar to the WP admin. I mean, it's basically the same thing. What we're seeing there is the same login screen. So you can either log in from what they give you or click on the, and they also obviously sent me an email confirmation, so that's a great thing. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the username and then the word password, because that was my password. I'm going to log in. To my dashboard, and now you'll see, wow, I've got basically a WordPress dashboard. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and open up my website, both in, and this is what it looks like. This is what it will look like. I'm going to go ahead and go to my dashboard in one window, and then I'm going to go ahead and open up the actual website in another window, just so I can see any changes that I make as I make them. Now, the first thing that I want you to do is go to Settings, General, and make sure that your time zone is correct. So we're Chicago time, so I'm going to go ahead and search for that. America, Chicago, there we go. That way anything I do is going to be accurate. And then obviously our week starts on Sunday, not Monday. Let's go ahead and save those changes. Now this works just like any WordPress site you've ever created, but we do have access now not only to the pages and posts and all that kind of stuff, but we also have access to lots more themes, and not only that, but an editor. And that's going to let us go into the theme that we've created, that we've selected, and edit it. And obviously you can see it saying, this is highly discouraged, don't do this, but since we know code, we can go ahead and look and see that this is all CSS. This is the CSS for the theme that's chosen right now. So we're going to deal more with that in class, but I do want you to go ahead and go to Appearance and click on Themes and just kind of browse through the different themes that you could use for this final project. So when you click on Appearance and Themes, go ahead and click on WordPress.org themes. And what I like to do is look at all my options, although they have so many different great themes on here now that you might want to look through what's most popular, what's the latest, what's most premium, or you could choose a filter. You can choose whether you want it to be a certain color or a certain layout. Obviously responsive is best. Different features that you might want to have and a subject, and then go ahead and do that search. What I like to do is just put my cursor here where it says search themes and press enter. What that's going to do is search for almost 2,000 themes. So as you kind of scroll through these and see if you might like it or not, it'll let you preview it before you see it, and then if it's something that you think you might want, then you're going to go ahead and press install. I recommend choosing a theme that is highly rated and has a lot of support. So to find that, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go to best free WordPress themes and find from bloggers, what bloggers have said have been the 50 best responsive WordPress themes, and then I'll search for them here in this search bar. One that I use a lot is called Spacious, and what I like about it is it's very simple, but it's also very clean and easy to use. So that's one I use, and then for my personal website I use one called Dazzling, and it's quite dazzling. It's actually very similar to Spacious. So those are two that I might just recommend off the bat. Now, choose a theme, and then one more thing that I want you to do before class is to install a plugin. And specifically, a plugin that I want you to install will be called Easy Bootstrap. So we're going to bootstrap our websites, and we'll talk more about this in class, but you're going to go to Plugins, and then we're going to go ahead and click Add New. And then I'm going to go ahead and search the plugins for Easy Bootstrap. What that's going to do is it's going to give us a Bootstrap site within our WordPress. So we can pull up columns, we could do buttons, we can do all kinds of really cool things that we could with Twitter Bootstrap right within any theme that you choose. So I'm going to go ahead and install now. And any plugin does not take long to do. There are a whole lots of different plugins that you could use. I'm going to go ahead and press Activate Plugin, and now it's activated. So really what that did is I'm going to go ahead and just go to a post so you can see what it would look like. And now if I went into my Hello World and looked at a post, you'll see that I've got the traditional WordPress toolbar, but then I've also can toggle down this whole new toolbar down here. You'll see it's very colorful. You can add all kinds of different things, panels and labels and wells and responsive images and a slider even, all kinds of different great things. So go ahead and experiment with that a little bit. But that's really getting started with WordPress and Bluehost. That's the way I start pretty much any site I make. I will find a great theme, and then I will always install that plugin, the Easy Bootstrap plugin. And then as you make changes, go ahead and look at it in a new window and see how it looks.